Now, for the last few days, it has been quite clear from the information, the reports that have been coming in, that India perhaps will not be able to stave off a third wave. The R factor, which is our number that we look at, has been seeing a steady rise over the past several days. Now, this is after it had been falling steadily from the month of April. Now, in a bid to, of course, post-lockdown lift the curbs, several state governments have moved curbs, and we are seeing, unfortunately, massive crowding taking place at various crowded marketplaces, even hill stations that have been completely run over by tourists who have been flooding their streets. The larger question is that at a time like this, when people should be perhaps taking care to not just socially distance, but also mask and all other COVID protocols should be put in place, that clearly is not happening on ground. At the same time, even as far as the vaccination numbers are concerned, and the data is there on your screens, we'll be putting that out in just a minute to show you very clearly that numbers have unfortunately not been where they should have been. If this is the rate of vaccination that continues, we'll only perhaps be able to vaccinate about 28 to 30% by December. Clearly, the boost in terms of vaccine stocks and supplies also continues to be a major issue of concern. So both from the level of the people of India as well as the government, questions continue to remain, and questions that will continue to be asked as far as India's response to COVID-19 is concerned. Shouldn't there be a more concerted attempt? That's what we're going to be debating over the next few minutes.
From queuing at hospitals to rushing for the hills. From begging for oxygen to binging on Golgappas. From pleading for a bed to peeling away our masks.
मेरी मदर एडमिट है, लेकिन मेरी मदर का ख्याल कौन रखता है? सवाल तो सवाल आपका जवाब मिलना चाहिए। बिल्कुल सर, मेरा सवाल ये है कि मेरी मदर का ख्याल कौन रखता है सर? मदर पानी का हॉस्पिटल को कौन कंट्रोल करता है? कोई सुनने का राजी नहीं है।
जी यहाँ पे डॉक्टर चिल्लाते रह गए, डॉक्टर चिल्लाते रह गए, कोई डॉक्टर नहीं आया, कोई डॉक्टर नहीं आया।
Amid fears of a third wave, India's forgotten the lessons of the past. Watch how they throw caution to the winds.
डर तो है, लेकिन सुकून के लिए आदमी एक साल घर में रहे, बंद रहे हैं, तो हर एक यही चाहता है ठंडी जगह जाए, अच्छे पैर का नजारा लें।
नहीं सर, हम कल चैल आए थे, चैल में बिल्कुल भी रश नहीं था, और वेदर मौसम वेदर है वहाँ का, एंजॉय भी करो और अपनी सेफ्टी पहले देखो। मौसम वेदर है, अच्छा एंजॉय कर रहे हैं।
तो मेरे हिसाब से तो पूरी मार्केट खुलनी चाहिए और कोई उसका बंद का इशू नहीं होना चाहिए।
While the Janta openly flouts COVID norms, the Sarkar slips in its promise. They vowed Jaan bhi aur Jahan bhi, but has it really done enough? Centre in an affid had promised 100% vaccination by December, but so far only 23% have received one dose and only 5.24% have been fully vaccinated. The December deadline looks like a distant dream. Out of 94 crore people above the age of 18 years, so far only 7.4% of them have been vaccinated fully. At this rate of vaccination, India can fully vaccinate only 28.7% of the population by December, while 74% will get only a single dose. India's much touted vaccination drive is stagnating. Look at some of the other nations. While UK and Israel have vaccinated over 50% of their populations, India has only given double dose to 5.24%. While the government promised Jaan bhi, Jahan bhi, fearing a third wave, they are quick to shut down the crowded markets instead of sustaining and intensifying the vaccination drive. Time for both the Sarkar and the Samaj to wake up. Join Times Now's campaign. Maximum vaccination, maximum vigilance.
You're watching the News Hour at 10. Debate number 2 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
So I'll go across to our panelists joining us. Sanju Verma, spokesperson of BJP, continues to be with us. With us is Rajiv Das Gupta, epidemiologist and member of the National Task Force. Also with us is Dr. Shashank R. Joshi, member of the COVID Task Force in Maharashtra. Vijay Dharni is a member of the Legislative Assembly of Tamil Nadu, who is also joining us at the moment. She's also the CLP Chief Whip there. Let me first begin with the doctors on the panel and get a medical perspective. Dr. Shashank Joshi, what we are looking at, and what I'm just going purely by what is there on record, what has been told, for instance, to the Supreme Court. We have seen that July was the month when we were supposed to see a huge boost in terms of our vaccines that would be available, that would be supplied. On ground, though, if you look at the total vaccination numbers, as well as the responsibility of the citizens, pictures coming in from crowded marketplaces, from hill stations, it's absolutely shocking because on the one hand, you have citizens who clearly are not following COVID safe protocols. On the other hand, you have the government which was supposed to, and I'm not going to blame any one government, both the state and the central government, vaccinations, removing vaccination hesitancy, providing the vaccines, all of this continue to be such important issues of concern even today in July.
You're absolutely right. We definitely need to vaccinate more. We have to redress and address our supply challenges. We definitely have improved, but we need to get to that at least 50 lakh to 70 lakh per day mark, if possible 80 lakh per day mark. And I think that is doable. I think it's a supply challenge. And you are absolutely right that particularly in rural India, we need to break vaccine hesitancy. And we need to do a lot of information, education, counseling to people in the languages they understand. And we need to ensure that curbs can only be unlocked if everybody gets 2 vaccines on board. That's something which is mandatory. But second thing is the responsibility of citizens. COVID is not at all over. In fact, COVID second wave is also not over. Particularly, we have a very thick tail in Maharashtra, Kerala, Northeast India, and many other geographies, including Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, and many others. And you are seeing that we are still reporting a just little less than 38,000 cases per day, which is still pretty large. And there are still many districts of concern, including, say, for example, in Maharashtra, we have 8 districts of concern, which have a test positivity rate between 5 to 10%. So we need to be still aggressive on adherence to COVID appropriate protocol. We have to stop this whole revenge tourism, rebellious shopping, and the restless people who really feel that COVID is over. It is far from over. And lot of people who have taken 1 dose or 2 doses of vaccines think that they won't get the COVID. I think even if you have taken 2 doses of vaccine or 1 dose of vaccine, we must continue masking for the next 6 months at least, because we need to recognize that we need to keep ourselves safe. We need to keep our people around us safe, and we need to ensure that 6 months are going to be crucial for us. So whether it is the government, whether it is the people at large, we have to be responsible and we have to be aggressive about it, because it's a make and break time. We can't slip the second wave into the third wave directly.
Absolutely, we cannot afford that at all, and that's why I want to bring in Dr. Rajiv Das Gupta on this. Dr. Das Gupta is a member of the National Task Force and is also an eminent epidemiologist. Sir, I want to take you through the vaccine numbers over the last several days, and I'm going to go back through about 5 days. On the 7th of July, it was in the range of 3,52,000. On the 8th, it climbed up to 4,14,000. On the 9th, again slipped back to 32 lakhs. I beg your pardon, these are numbers in lakhs: 35, 41, 32 lakhs. Then again on 10th, coming down to 38. This is nowhere close to the numbers that we need if we are to see our entire population vaccinated by the end of this year. I mean, if we go by the current rate, we will only have about roughly 30 to 35% of our population that would be vaccinated, and that certainly would put us in a grave danger of not just the third, but perhaps even subsequent 4th and 5th waves if we do not get a majority of our population very quickly vaccinated. Why is that not happening on ground?
Thank you. In fact, it's been quite dramatic and, if I may, quite a tragic fall from the 8.6 million vaccine doses administered on 21st June. It's dropped down by half. As ground reports indicate, many cities and states are indeed facing supply issues. One issue that's being cited is the non-availability of Covaxin from some of its production units, but it's true that it's nowhere near the optimistic projections that were made on 21st June, and certainly being looked forward to when this current phase started, following following the reversal of the so-called liberalized regime. And to add to what Dr. Joshi said very rightly, there are 4 states, Sikkim, Manipur, Mizoram, Kerala, which has positivity rate between 11 and 19. And then you have Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Tripura, which is between 5 and 10. So while in terms of populations, these may be relatively states with smaller populations, but these are also states which have people, communities spread over geographically very difficult areas, many of these states. So these are the states to watch for. It is indeed a very delicate situation now.
Right. Let me take this across to Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, what really happened? Because we know that the government has appeared before the Supreme Court. Affidavits have been given which spoke about July being the month, if I'm not mistaken, by when the numbers in terms of vaccines production, etc., was supposed to go up dramatically. That hasn't happened on ground. Why is that so?
Okay, Madhav, I heard all the doctors on your panel who are obviously people with domain expertise. I will now just put some numbers for your audience. In the last 21 days, we vaccinated, I'm just talking of last 21 days, we vaccinated 16.5 crore people with the first dose. 16.5 crore dosages were administered, which basically means that the average run rate, I'm going by the average run rate is about 78 lakhs per day. Now, if you assume an average run rate of 78 lakhs per day, starting today, we have about 170 to 172 odd days till 2021 comes to an end. At the current run rate of 78 lakhs per day, we would end up with 134 crore dosages by December 2021. I'm talking in terms of dosages. Now, adult population of India is 94 crore. At the rate of 2 dosages per adult, we need 188 crore dosages. Please note, we have already vaccinated with the first dose 38.5 crore people. And we will additionally have 134 crore dosages by end of December, which means that the shortage will only be to the tune of 16 crore dosages. Now, 16 crore dosages is not a big deal because just a few hours back, Zydus Cadila has applied to the Indian drug regulator for emergency approval for its intradermal vaccine. Just a few days back, barely less than 48 hours back, Cipla got the approval to import Moderna. So I am only talking of Covaxin, Covishield, Zycovir, and the import of Moderna by Cipla and production of Sputnik V by Dr. Reddy. What about the intranasal spray by Bharat Biotech? What about Novavax by Serum Institute, which is in advanced stages? What about Biological E, which is coming out with a vaccine, Hyderabad-based company? What about Maharashtra? Genova E. So what I'm saying,
let's get in a quick word.
1 minute, please, let me finish.
Yes, there are several such vaccines.
Important.
Yes.
This is very important. Let me finish.
Okay, quickly.
All I'm saying is, Madhav, 20 seconds, please. All I'm saying is you will have additional 134 crore dosages at the current run rate of 78 lakhs per day, without even taking into account the production from Biological E, Genova, import of maybe Pfizer, Novavax, and the intranasal spray. So I tell you...
No, but that's exactly the point I'm making, Sanju Verma. For the last 1 week, we have not seen anywhere close to 70 lakhs. We are seeing a maximum of 46 lakhs on the 5th of July, and it has only been slipping since. The last 1 week's data is really what is causing this concern. I'm going to go back to Dr. Shashank Joshi before I get in a word from Vijay Dharni. Dr. Shashank Joshi, is this number really borne out? Sanju Verma is confident that by the end of the year, there will only be a small proportion of the population that will not be vaccinated. Is that borne out by the numbers that we are seeing on ground?
So two things are clear cut. I think if they are able to be borne out, we'll be very happy. And I'm quite confident that they might be able to do it. But there have been some protracted challenges with supply issues. Two things we must admit very honestly, that there has been an exponential rise after 21st of June. So that part I would admit. But that, 60 lakhs coming down to 30 lakhs, then again going up to 60 lakhs. We wish it comes to 70 lakhs on an average. And if it is 70 to 80 lakhs, we are good. So I hope and pray that this comes true. And I am reasonably sure that Government of India in its wisdom will take all the things which will be needed to do this. Currently, however, last couple of weeks don't look as bright as they were before.
Right. Vijay Dharni, one of the other issues of concern is not just the availability, but it's also hesitancy. The state where you hail from, Tamil Nadu, despite its very high numbers and several other developmental indices, when it comes to vaccine hesitancy, has had some very, very serious issues. Yes, there were some episodes of, popular cine faces, etc., who succumbed after the vaccine. But the point is, these are also very important issues that will have to be addressed if we have to ensure that this vaccine is universally admitted at the fastest possible speed.
See, very, very important is what you say, the hesitancy. I would rather call that hesitancy is totally wiped out, erased out in entire India, and particularly in Tamil Nadu, there is no hesitancy I could really see. Even after the cine actor's death and other things, in a matter of few days, people came into track to have the vaccine. Even today, I went to various vaccination camps in my constituency, where these camps, people have lined up so well in long queues. When a particular vaccination center has got only 200 doses, but the lineup is nearly 400 people standing there for the token and for getting vaccinated. Actually, the doses are insufficient. The vaccines are insufficient, and every center could not provide more than 200. This is the pathetic situation. And particularly in entire India, when you spoke,
so who is to blame for this?
Kindly, see, please, now hesitancy has gone. There is no hesitancy in entire India. People are totally aware. They are coming forward in large numbers, but vaccines are at a very, very, very slow rate. It is being distributed to the states.
May I please
the center has originally, let me complete.
Okay.
The center has assured.
Okay, quickly, make your point fast, ma'am.
Every state, the number of doses that they will give several lakhs of doses in a day. But the center is not giving such number as promised. And that too, in the number of...
I'm going to let Sanju Verma respond to you on that. Sanju Verma, Vijay Dharni says that the numbers promised by the center of the states are not happening on ground. There is insufficient doses of vaccines. Please respond to her.
Madhav, the clear response to that is that I believe in the Modi government. I believe in the website that has put out details by the Ministry of Health. And the latest information is that while we vaccinated till today morning 38.5 crore people, 1.5 crore inventory is lying with states and union territories. I can tell you that in Maharashtra and Mumbai, the vaccine administration by the Uddhav Thackeray dispensation is mired in incompetence. They have extra dosages with them, and yet randomly, some day vaccination centers are open, some day they are not. I have visited some hospitals and on the ground, doctors and nurses say, vaccine to hai, par humko bola gaya hai ki aaj vaccine nahi lagani hai. So I want to say that clearly, there are state governments which are being absolutely, reprehensibly incompetent, and it is not about vaccine shortage, it is about mapping the vaccine centers with the requisite number of dosages in a manner that the maximum number of people get vaccinated. Why is it that Maharashtra has a problem? Tamil Nadu has a problem. Why is it that Gujarat never has a problem? UP does not have a problem. UP has vaccinated 3.5 crore plus people with the first dose.
Okay.
Why is it that money...
All right, we're almost out of time. I want to get in a quick response. Let me get in a quick response from Dr. Rajiv Dasgupta on that. Dr. Dasgupta, is that borne out by your experience on ground? Is it about the allocation and the logistics of the vaccine deployments that is a major issue of concern here?
Well, the fact is that ground reports do indicate a variation in supply. For the program to run, what's really crucial is a sustained and a comfortable state of supply. This fluctuation does no good to the program manager. If you call any day, you call a district immunization officer to your program, I would really request you please consider him as an expert, him or her, and listen to what the view from the bottom is. So the view from the bottom, it becomes extremely uneven if the supply tends to fluctuate like this. That's one, irrespective of what the total projected supply is. Second, each state, each district has very strong foundations in the immunization program that we know for decades. Despite that, all vaccinations to a certain extent do face hesitancy. But here, the inequity is certainly more than the hesitancy. What the panelists from Tamil Nadu said, yes, that hesitancy has been tackled to a very large extent, but inequities do remain. And finally, for a success, political commitment we know is absolutely crucial. But what's also crucial is a completely bipartisan approach to political support and not a partisan positioning. Thank you.
Well, absolutely. That's very important, but we're completely out of time there. Dr. Rajiv Dasgupta, Dr. Shahan Doshi, Vijay Dharni, as well as Sanju Verma. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us. These are, of course, early warning signs. We are nowhere close to a third wave at the moment, but there are indications that if we are not careful as citizens, and if the government doesn't get its act together in terms of speedily vaccinating our population, then certainly that could be something that could be an imminent risk at the moment. With that, I'm going to call it a break here on the News Hour agenda. Thanks so much for joining us.